just, I mean, my opinion is we just are way over-regulated on everything. I mean, everybody that, you have a particular business, I could go through 10 scenarios similar to that in the businesses that I'm involved in. So we have this kind of conflicted sense that people in general want to help the public, want to protect the public and have safety rules, but at the same time, if they're oppressive, it damages the economy. Plus, it doesn't allow us to play on the same playing field with all of the jobs we're losing overseas, because we've got ocean requirements, we've got health requirements, we've got all these other requirements, and everybody else can just go overseas and they can pollute the water and they can do whatever they want. What are we supposed to do?
Remember the ergonomics that you said so far. Would that be fair?
Yes, sir. I guess what I'm getting at is the situation in this country is so serious right now.
I agree.
I am terrified.
I agree. Yes. I agree with you.
And
Okay.
And you want it.
All right. And you want your country back?
yes, sir, I do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Let me take the break. Yes, sir.
John, I'll tell you the problem that we all have, and I think everyone, especially people that are in business or trying to provide jobs. Belvidere just missed an opportunity. You've been very integral in trying to help IUT with the barriers. And in my humble opinion, I know you and your office worked very, very hard through, not the appropriations committee, but
But it's a bidding process.
the bidding process,
DOD,
but
right.
the decision that was made is that it's a foreign company, foreign to the United States, it's England. They're procuring product from China in a great part, by what I've been told, and we're supplying for our soldiers something that could be made locally, something that could be manufactured here, something that could be made with steel that's made in the United States. Every part of that would be done here. My humble opinion, our government right now, we're looking for.
When the federal government decided to destroy free enterprise, take over the automobile industry, when bondholders were given 0% on their money, that's unheard of. You buy bonds because of stock, because it's safer investment. And special rules were written to wipe out dealerships.
And you don't recognize your country.
It isn't done yet.
Keep on fighting.
There's gonna be a lot more.
It's the toughest battle of my life, is helping you guys out.
Now, to turn your question around backwards, if you were here asking us, what can the federal government do to kill the economy? The answer would be raise taxes and give us ridiculous regulations on corporations and small businesses. And Scott led in perfectly to my other comment that I was going to make. We have 4 industries, and government does not create wealth. We have 4 major industries in this country that create wealth: agriculture, mining, construction, manufacturing. They take stuff of lesser value and they create stuff of greater value. I don't think our government needs to stimulate this economy. Our government needs to get its hands away from the neck of private industry. Americans have the innovation and the initiative to bring this economy back to life, as long as our government isn't squelching every effort we do.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Manzullo, first of all, thank you for coming here today. And a couple of points. I just feel some level of frustration whether or not our government really gets it. It seems like in federal government it's a game of whack-a-mole. It's like you knock one thing down that should have been happening, but cohesively, our representatives don't seem to get the picture. Case in point, is there anything that we can do to take our tax dollars and stimulate the jobs here? USAID, tax-funded agency. We are paid to create 3,000 jobs. 3,000 jobs. Sri Lanka, and they won't even tell us how much they're paying for another effort that's going on in Armenia. Now, to this gentleman's point, this money should be spent in our communities to train people, retrain people for new technology jobs, okay? We're spending this money, our own money, to train people overseas how to speak English, and how to perform IT engineering jobs. Good jobs, high-paying jobs. We're basically finance.
We just renewed. We dropped our insurance carrier after 15 years at a 23% increase this single year with not a change in health. Changed carriers, got back to close to where it is. They've already told me that next year I may drop the whole thing and pay the fine,
Okay.
pay the same or less premium and not have health
Did you
care.
want to put your?
But they don't know because everything, again, like the chart you passed out, is so nebulous, you don't have an idea of what it's really going to provide or how it's not going to. Our bill next year went up $23,000.
Thank you.
My wife and I run a little medical clinic, a private practice. And right now, I'll tell you.
You're a physician?
No, my wife is.
Okay.
And in 4 years, we're going out of business. That's our business plan right now. We're gonna close the clinic down. Because the way the cost is structured right now, we know what we're being told it's gonna be Medicare reimbursement rates. What's happening to us is that malpractice insurance is within the rule. The Medicare doesn't even cover cost of drugs, because the drugs that we have to buy our patients, there's no controls over that. Medicare is reducing their reimbursement on the supplies, including the drugs, plus the procedures. So by the time this bill takes hold, by 2014, full bore here, we're basically going out of business because we can't stay in business. So I think what we're gonna have is a major crisis in healthcare providers. There's not gonna be access. We're not gonna be in
So you're
business.
gonna have all the new customers, but nobody to service them.
Well, I'm just experiencing the same thing. I mean, my health insurance has doubled, and we had to switch carriers to get it more manageable. And as a business owner, you know, you want to treat your employees well, you want to provide insurance for them, and you're on this double-edged sword. If 75% of your employees don't take the insurance, then you got zero, and nobody gets insurance.
Right.
So when the premiums go up, then your employee wants more money. When they want to cancel their insurance, and you got to pay them more money, and it's just
Insurance
No,
should be the cheaper price.
I am self-insured. When I go to the doctor, I get 35% discount on everything, because they don't have to file papers, they don't have to file with
Was
insurance
that prearranged?
companies.
I'm not
No.
questioning you.
No,
What do you
that's
have
what
to
I
do to
said, I
do
wanna
that?
write my check, and say, oh, okay, this is $150, $95. I'm like, why? Oh, well, because you don't have insurance. Okay, same thing, when lab work, 35% off. But what this has forced me to do, now here's the concept, this is what we do, when I get a prescription written that they don't fill there at the doctor's office, I had Accutane, which is very expensive, okay? I didn't just take it down to the local Walgreens and pay $1,500 a month for it. Here's a concept, people don't get this with medicine anymore. I got on the phone. I called pharmacies, I got online, I got different prices. I found Walmart, under $500 a month for what would it cost $1,500 at Walgreens. An insurance company would just say, okay, $1,500. Well, of course, that isn't covered by insurance. But, you know, we act like fools when we have insurance. This is what I'm learning. We just go, oh, whatever's the most convenient pharmacy. It doesn't matter that they're charging 3 times as much as anybody else. You go to Meijer, grocery stores or whatever, you get free antibiotics for most antibiotics. Walmart has a huge selection of drugs for $4 a month, $10 for 3 months. And this is stuff that they're charging 7, 8 times that at your local pharmacy. There's so much garbage built into the system, so much waste, and I think a lot of people who have health insurance don't think about these things, because they go for the convenience. They let their insurance companies battle it out. Or the doctors battle it out with the insurance companies, what's going to be covered. That's why I can sit down with my doctor and he says, well, you know, you got arthritis, we think we want to do an MRI on your knee. Well, can we do an x-ray? Oh, well, yeah. Okay, let's do the x-ray. Well, before we do, what's cheaper, an x-ray or a cortisone shot? Well, why don't we do the cortisone shot, see if that works, you know. I'm actively involved in my medical care now because I don't have some silly insurance company, and because I have to be concerned about cost. I'm actively involved in the treatment process, and I don't have to go for the top of the line thing every time. I mean,
How
so-
about this, Tracy?
consumer driven, absolutely, absolutely, and I think if you're paying, what, $15,000 a year for premium? Now, what, I can't, I mean, if I could go 5 years without having a major medical anything and be socking away $15,000 of my own money, I could handle probably most heart surgeries. You know, you could be self-insured for that. But now they're gonna throw my butt in jail in 4 years or 3 years. Because, yeah, I'm a scofflaw. I mean, either that or my lawn, my grass gonna get more than 3 inches, they're gonna come get my butt for that. Maybe add one more dog than is allowed by my village. And they're gonna kill my dog and give me a big fine. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. They will confiscate and kill your dog. I live in Boone County, does not adopt out dogs. They take your dog, and unless somebody claims it, unless you claim it, it's dead in a week. I'm living under this terror in every single aspect of my life, and I don't even own a business.
Let's segue to what Brian said. I thought really from his heart. He believes that America.
But we have to figure out what to do to go forward. And I think this election in November is crucial, absolutely crucial. And in your email, Dan, you mentioned about the House Republicans are trying to come up with their agenda.
That's what this is about here. This is the
Right,
agenda.
right. And I keep hearing that something is going to come out similar to
September.
Newt Gingrich's contract with America.
Right.
And I've read Paul Ryan's, I forget what roadmap for
Roadmap.
America's future. And it's just a real common sense type thing, and I really like that. And I'm wondering, you know, where that stands. And I think with this, with whatever you guys come up with, I think there's some major themes in here today that government there's overregulation, things are so complicated, nobody understands anything, and it just seems so frustrating because it's like I'm almost giving up hope that things can ever change.
We've lost several million jobs in the private sector in the past few years. We gained 400,000 federal jobs.
We were in DC.
That's going the wrong direction.
We were in DC recently, and building after building
Yep.
after building, and it was like,
And there's enough people out there that recognize the big picture. That's getting people back to work. And so you take the best of the people. You know Rosa DeLauro? You see Rosa DeLauro, I mean, she's pretty colorful, very liberal, Democrat from Connecticut. She called my office. And she said, Don, I've got a bill on manufacturing. I mean, an astounding plan that would allow them to manufacture, to defer income up to 10 years, to save money to buy new equipment, tax-free. And you know what? I'm working with you on that. So there are a lot of things that can be done if we realize that even though you may disagree with somebody, you don't have to be disagreeable. That's his
certainly
problem.
understand.
Because Americans are tired of seeing that fighting. Even though you disagree with somebody, we all live in this country together, and you work together